You don't sabotage yourself because you are weak. You sabotage yourself because somewhere along the way, your mind learned to confuse discomfort with danger. It learned to believe that anything unfamiliar is a threat. It learned that growth feels too much like chaos. And so even when you want better, your mind will quietly pull you back to what feels predictable, even when that predictable place is pain. Self-sabotage does not begin in adulthood. It begins in childhood, in adolescence, in the quiet moments when you were still too young to understand the weight of disappointment. It begins with the experiences that shaped you long before you could name them. A moment where someone laughed at your effort. A moment where you tried your best and it still wasn't enough. A moment where you trusted someone who didn't handle your heart with care. A moment where failure made you feel embarrassed, exposed, or unworthy. The brain never forgets these moments, because emotional pain imprints deeper than physical pain. Your mind begins to build silent rules, survival codes that stay with you. Don't risk too much. Don't try if there's a chance of failing. Don't let people in too deeply. Don't dream too loudly. Don't want too much. Don't show your true self. And so you grow older, but these rules remain. They hide beneath your achievements, your confidence, your social skills. They operate at the subconscious level. And from this hidden place, they guide your choices without your permission. This is where self-sabotage is born. Self-sabotage is your mind protecting you from emotional risk. It is the nervous system trying to keep your life within a range of experiences it already understands. Even if those experiences are frustrating, limiting, or painful, they are at least familiar, and the human mind clings desperately to the familiar. This is why someone who has always felt insignificant will unconsciously avoid situations that could make them feel powerful. Power is unfamiliar. It feels unsafe. The mind prefers to remain at a level where the emotional landscape is predictable. This is why someone who has been abandoned will push away genuine love. Love feels foreign. It feels too fragile, too uncontrollable. The mind would rather return to loneliness, because loneliness at least makes sense. This is why someone who is used to chaos is uncomfortable with peace. Peace feels empty. It feels suspicious. It feels like the calm before a storm. Chaos, however, feels like home. Your mind is not working against you. It is working for you, just in the wrong direction. It believes it is keeping you safe. But the safety it offers you is the safety of a cage. A cage built from old wounds, old disappointments, old conclusions about who you are and what you deserve. The real reason you sabotage yourself is not because you fear failure, but because you fear meaning. You fear what failure would confirm about you. You fear that trying and failing would expose something fragile inside you. Your fear of inadequacy, your fear of not being enough, your fear of being seen as unworthy. People don't avoid effort because they are lazy. They avoid effort because effort exposes truth. As long as you don't try, you can protect the fantasy that maybe, just maybe, you could succeed if you really wanted to. Once you try, that fantasy disappears, and the truth becomes unavoidable. So your mind delays. It distracts you. It convinces you that you're not ready. It tells you that you should wait. It tells you that the timing isn't right. It tells you that you'll start when you have more energy, more money, more clarity, more support. But all of these are illusions created to protect you from emotional exposure. The real battle is not between you and your goals. It is between your past identity and your future identity. The identity formed from hurt and survival does not want to die. It does not want to be replaced. It does not want to lose control. Because becoming someone new means the old version of you must be left behind. And that is frightening. Self-sabotage intensifies the moment you stand at the edge of transformation. You feel a strange resistance, procrastination, overthinking, withdrawal, fear, discomfort. not because you are incapable, but because your mind senses that the old self is about to be dismantled. Transformation is not easy because you are not just changing habits, you are rewriting the emotional logic that kept you safe for years. You are challenging the narratives that your mind adopted as survival strategies. You are stepping into an identity your younger self could not imagine. This is why progress feels uncomfortable. This is why you retreat just when things are going well. This is why you ruin the relationships that feel too stable, reject the opportunities that feel too promising, or abandon the goals that feel too demanding. Your mind is trying to pull you back to the emotional environment it recognizes. The hard truth is this. Your mind would rather stay in familiar suffering than risk unfamiliar joy. Because joy requires vulnerability. Joy requires trust. Joy requires expansion. Joy requires stepping into uncertainty without the armor of your old wounds. If you've lived most of your life in struggle, peace feels wrong. If you've lived in fear, confidence feels unnatural. If you've lived in doubt, self-belief feels like a lie. If you've lived with inconsistency, stability feels suspicious. This is the real root of self-sabotage. Your nervous system is regulating your life according to what it thinks you can emotionally handle, not what you intellectually desire. That is why you can want success but fear the identity that comes with it. You can want love but fear the vulnerability it demands. You can want change but fear the unknown path ahead. You can want healing but fear who you will become without your pain. Your self-sabotage ends when you begin to understand that you are not fighting laziness, you are fighting your survival programming. And survival programming does not disappear with motivation. It dissolves through awareness. The moment you recognize that your fear is not a warning but a memory, something shifts. The moment you realize discomfort is not danger but growth, something awakens. The moment you stop protecting the weaker version of you and start nurturing the stronger one, something changes. You break the pattern not by forcing impossible leaps, but by showing your mind, slowly and consistently, that growth does not equal threat. That elevation does not equal abandonment. That success does not equal exposure. That love does not equal loss. That confidence does not equal arrogance. That change does not equal danger. Your life begins to shift the moment you stop seeing fear as a command and start seeing it as a leftover echo of a past self that no longer represents who you are. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not hopeless. You are not weak. You are simply outgrowing an emotional operating system that was designed for a version of you that no longer exists. The real reason you sabotage yourself is because you've been protecting yourself, but protecting an outdated version of you. Now it's time to protect your future instead. To lean into growth. To embrace discomfort. To welcome unfamiliar peace. To allow yourself to rise. To stop retreating when life begins to open for you. You are not the person who deserved the wounds. You are not the version that settled for less. You are not the identity shaped by fear. You are someone becoming. Someone rising. Someone expanding beyond what the past taught you to expect. And your future self is waiting, not for perfection, not for certainty, not for confidence, but simply for the moment you stop sabotaging your expansion and finally allow yourself to grow. This is your mindDose.